Good morning, guys. Good morning to all my fellow viewers. Anyways, whoever views it is alright. I don't care about the likes. I don't care about the viewers. All I care about is making these videos for you all and having a happy time with you guys. Alright, so my college game day picks. I'm looking for Auburn. I picked Auburn and Alabama. Auburn and Alabama. Yep, two teams. I picked Auburn and Alabama. I picked Auburn and Alabama. So those are my two picks. I am 3-3. I would pick Florida. I seriously would. I would probably be wearing my Florida Gators shirt, but unfortunately I'm wearing my football. I'm wearing my t-shirt that says just football. Well, football only, but it says football with a football logo on it. But anyways, I'm having a good time right now. Hopefully next weekend they'll reschedule the. Which that reminds me, I gotta check the scheduling of the Florida Gators games next Saturday. Hopefully they make it up, hope so. Because Florida, I think maybe they need a bye week. Maybe that's what they need right now, is a bye week for right now. I don't know. I don't know when they're going to play. Yeah. Kentucky, however, I thought Kentucky will be in talks for the SEC championship. You know, I'm all in the SEC. I don't really care about other conferences. It's either the reason that is because I like Florida. I'm a Florida guy when it comes to college. When it comes to college, I'm an SEC guy, but also a Florida guy. So, Florida all the way. But now I'm just watching my football shows and pregame shows and all that. Crimson Tide. Yeah, Crimson Tide. I wouldn't mind having those mini helmets of college teams. Like all the college teams, I wouldn't mind having those helmets. Those mini helmets I would like to have. But maybe someday if I ever get a chance to go with my parents to, after the stupid virus and all that stuff, and save some money up from work and everything, I can try to save up some money to go get me some, when I go to my parents' house, to make sure my parents, a week before prior, to ask for my money. But, you know, I'm hoping that Diane, my RSD Diane, will help me get those helmets from Sports-A-Mores down in Rockford, Illinois. I am in Freeport, by the way. I am in Freeport, Illinois. I was born and raised here in Illinois since, gosh, the beginning of my time. Ooh, Astros won. Ooh, I think that might have forced Game 7, I think. If I'm not mistaken, that could have probably forced Game 7. I might be wrong on the Rays this year. I was wrong on the Yankees before, and now I'm coming wrong on the... I'm hoping next year the Rays can be beat by the Yankees. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about my team in Illinois, the Cubs. My Cubs are hopefully are not too bad. My Chicago Cubs, yeah, we won a World Series in 2016, but I don't think we're 100% there completely. Because if we were, we would have been a little bit further down and further deep into the postseason. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. Never does. Dodgers won yesterday. Oh, geez. A lot of teams are coming back. A lot of teams are coming back off of this. Houston's coming back. Houston's coming back. Los Angeles is coming back. It's like they woke up from the dead and just came out of the area and went after the. I think Dodgers are going to. It might end up being the Dodgers and Astros this year. I have to say it. It could end up being the Dodgers win the World Series this year. Hate to say it. As much as I'm a Cubs fan and I'm loyal to this team, to the Cubs, meaningly, I just know the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. I just know it. Best of 7. Best of 6 or 7. SEC. Tennessee's no good. Kentucky's no good. Actually, Kentucky has slid down. Arkansas and Ole Miss. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one for either one because neither one of them are that good. Arkansas, a 57% chance to win. I agree with that. Only thing I don't agree with college football is that the only thing I don't agree with college is that college football scores higher than the NFL. Well, the NFL should be opposite of that. But the weirdest thing is that the NBA scores higher than the college basketball. So college basketball scores lower. I think on average great team on college basketball scores like 70 to 80 points. Well, as for a really good NBA team, scores on average 124, sometimes 140, depending on how good the team is and how bad is their opponent, practically. See, to win a championship, you gotta be spectacular. You gotta know what your opponent's doing. You gotta figure out them before you get figured out by them. That's anyway. I mean, look at the Lakers. No one expected the Lakers to win a championship. No one did. Everyone thought it would have been the Bucks because of how good they are. I just don't think the Bucks are that good. I really don't. I don't think the Milwaukee Bucks are that good because they were deep into the playoffs, but then they got beat by a better team. And the funny part is that the funny part is that nobody even gave Milwaukee a chance. Everybody just crowded up on Milwaukee like it was nothing. You know, everybody just crowded up on Milwaukee and just beat the hell out of them. You know, it's kind of like WWE. You know, when you're wrestling somebody or even boxing, when you're boxing or wrestling somebody, you got to figure out your opponent. You just got to figure them out. And that goes the same with a team sport. You got to figure out your opponent, what they're doing, how they're doing. I mean, last week, everybody was picking against the Panthers for the last 3 weeks when they were winning. You know, Carolina beated three teams. My Panthers beated 3 teams. The Falcons, the Cardinals, and last but not least, they beated Chargers. Sorry, I had a brain fart for a second. But my Panthers are doing really good so far. So I just don't want to knock it. You know, you can't knock that. You know, if Carolina's I thought coming into the season when Carolina was 0-2, I kind of thought they were going to be terrible. But when I started picking them, they started winning. So it was like, you know, this is a good thing, a good scenario. I mean, and this has been a great year for Carolina so far. You know, there's so many ways that Carolina could win 7 games. And one of them is that, okay, so number 1, Carolina could go in there. Okay, so they won 3 games. Carolina could lose to the Bears tomorrow and lose to the Saints and then bounce back. That's 4-4. They go 4-4. That's great. You know, that's great. All Carolina's got to do is go 4-4 in the middle of the season. And then in the second half of the season, they can finish the second half of the season with, let's see, 0-2. They should be able to beat the Lions. That's 5-6. Then they should. I got them losing to the Vikings. I'm sorry, but I have to go against my team against the Vikings. Maybe they'll lose to the Vikings. This is just one scenario. Then if they lose to the Vikings, they can beat. Actually, no. You know what? Something's telling me. Maybe Carolina will go. Let's see. In the second half of the season, they'll go 0-2 for the start of the second half of the season. Then they go 1-2 against the Lions, 2-2 against the Vikings. So they'll win 2 games against the Lions and Vikings for the first quarter of the second half of the season. Then they jump into the Broncos game. Can they beat the Broncos? So, can they beat the Broncos? The answer is, I would like them to. I mean, around my birthday. But December 13th, you know, I know I would be sad that on my birthday that they would lose to the Broncos again. But let's say the Panthers beat the Broncos. Let's say that. So that's 3-2. Well, actually, let's say they lose to the Broncos. Actually, I think Carolina could go, instead of 7-9, I think Carolina can go 8-8 this year. So they could beat, let's see, they'll beat the Lions, they'll beat the Vikings, but they'll lose to the Chiefs. They'll lose to the Chiefs and the Bucks. That's 2-2 to start the second half of the season. Then the Panthers, however, Carolina goes in there again after the bye week against the Broncos around my birthday and delivers a win. So they deliver a win. That's 3-2 in the second half of the season. That's pretty darn good. Then you drop to 3-3. Then you go up again, 4-3. So they go up to 4-3. That's 8-7. 8-7. Then they lose to the. Let's say they lose to the Saints. I think Carolina could win against the Saints. Oh shoot! I gotta go to the bathroom, guys.